So sit down, relax, make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee if you want, and enjoy the ride. For my husband's birthday, he wants just a snack platter, but I want to make something more special. So for the platter, I made some little empanadas, marinated chicken wings in chimichurri, garlic bread, and a plate of cold cuts and cheeses, and a small sausage too. Today I will teach you how to make these delicious empanadas. Well, as I mentioned before, empanadas are a typical dish from my country, present in all celebrations, birthday, national days, Father's Day, Mother's Day. They are good for any occasion, and there are many varieties. In some provinces, they even have diced potatoes. There are also corn empanadas that are very tasty. Some cheese ones too. They do the combination of 3 cheese, but today I will make the traditional ones. Some people add raisins to the filling, and I assure you they taste great. I love it, but my family doesn't like them with raisins, so I can put it in the filling. You will notice that I have a clap on. I mentioned that before. What happened was I was cutting. Look at the camera and cut myself. It was just a small cut, so I had to stop, wash my hands, and put a bandage and wear a glove to avoid contamination, because I need to keep going. I couldn't afford to stop since I had many things to do. Yeah, I love having sharp knife, so I always ask my husband, and well, my husband sharpens them and always tell me to be careful. But accidents like this happen all the time, you know. While chopping the onion, I cry as usual. Someone left me a message with a tip to avoid crying when cutting onions, but unfortunately I don't remember it, so I keep crying. Well, we do the same with the red pepper. First we cut it into slices and then into small pieces. We will do the same with the garlic. Also, if you like spicy food, you can add a chilli to the filling. I didn't add it because the grandkids were going to eat, but they taste great with a bit of spice. I would love for you to tell me if you have ever made empanadas and which ones you like best. For example, I prefer baked ones, but my husband and kids like fried ones. Fried empanadas are very tasty. That's not up for debate, but I have always liked baked ones more. Here, they don't sell empanadas top ready, so we always have to make the top ourselves. They sell a dog for spinach pie, but that is only for baking. I remember that in Argentina you could buy empanadas wrappers for baking or frying in any shop. Buying pre-made wrappers saves a lot of time, but I'm so used to making it that it doesn't bother me. Besides, the top I'm going to show you today is very quick and super easy to make. It's a barley dough that is very tasty. I have made it many times. Next, add a little bit of butter or oil, whichever you prefer, in a pot to start cooking the onion and the garlic. We will let them cook It's easy, but it takes time, and that's exactly what I didn't have, especially since I want to record everything I did to share it with you guys. Cooking and filming take a lot of time, whether you want them to or not. I had to do it in 2 batches because the processor is small, and if I add too much, it won't mix well. So yeah, and also I remove all the noises because the noise could be very loud, But yes, I was happy because it saved me a lot of time. This one is the last batch, so I will show you that mix really well with the flour. You can find little pieces, but won't happen very often. Depend the time that you put in the processor, But as you can see, looks pretty good, a little bit yellow because of the butter. Well, now it's ready for us to start. Now I will add the salt, mixing well, and finally the warm water. I use a wooden spoon, and when it's ready to knead with my hands, if we need a little more flour, we will add it, but we should try not to add too much. If the dough feels a bit dry, we can add a little water, but very sparingly. Now it's time to use our hands. The dough is nice and soft. When it's ready, we will wrap it cuisine are you going to try to make empanadas? You will see that this is so easy. Well, I will add the eggs to the filling and mix it well to combine the eggs with the meat. And then I will chop the olives. Well, in the same plate, I will chop the olives. I will remove the pit and then I will chop it in small pieces. Some of my kids, I guess one of them or two, don't really like olives, but they don't have a problem. When they eat the empanadas, they remove the olives because they don't like it. But the other ones, yeah, because I love olives. But lately, I can't eat olives as I used to do when I was young because they are too salty. And the next day, if I eat that, the next day I wake up with my eyes puffy, and it's because of the salt. That's why I because when I get inside this room to do the video, was sunny, and then I start hearing something, and I thought, what is that? And was the rain. It's funny how the weather changed here. But anyway, you see how fast I keep doing this. For me now, making empanadas is something easy and quick. And yes, and what I mentioned before, sometimes when I have time, I prepare some empanadas in advance, put it in the freezer, cook it first, of course, put it in the freezer, and then when I need it, I have something ready, I got the dinner ready. Sometimes you go out and when you come back, you don't feel like cooking. So that is a good idea to have something ready in the fridge. I love to prepare things, especially if my kids come all the time to my house, and I love having things ready, in the freezer, something that I can defrost and prepare faster for them to share with us, Oh my god, you hear that? The thunder, oh my god. Lucky I'm inside here, if not, my poor cat must be so scared, he's so chicken. But anyway, I hope he don't start crying now. Anyway, my husband is with him. He will cuddle him if he start crying. So, you see, a few more and we're done. So, I would love to know if you will try this. And also let me know if you want me to prepare a different kind of empanadas, like we call it humitas. Humitas empanadas are made with corn cream, and they are delicious. Look, we have a little more filling, so now I also have a little more dough, so I guess I can get a few more. Yeah, but I was telling you, if you want me to prepare different empanadas like humitas, also sound very popular in my country, are the ham and cheese, and also the only cheese too, you can do empanadas of everything, vegetables, fish, anything, but the traditional from my country are the meat ones. Well, I was lucky. I will get a few more here. I'm counting. In total, I got 35 and I was very happy. But yes, please don't miss my other videos, because I will keep showing all the yummy things that I did for my husband's birthday